Hello, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. My name is Laura Reninkowski, and I'm an international life and relationship coach. I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. And I'm not an astrologer, but I know a lot about astrology, and that's why I give these astrology talks in this group. So today we're going to talk about the new moon in Aquarius. And the new moon in Aquarius is actually happening tomorrow, the first of February. So this astrological event, this new moon, it's all about it's about getting serious about where you're headed in life in general. So it's a very powerful new moon. So it's easy to go through life just rolling with things as they happen. And over the last 2 years in particular, it's been kind of hard to actually make plans given how unpredictable literally everything has been in our lives. Well, the universe is sending total get serious vibes to get you looking toward the future with some serious goals in mind right now. It's actually pretty exciting because for the first time in 2 years we can actually start making plans that that don't have to be changed all the time. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So this new moon in Aquarius happening on the 1st of February 2022 not only signals us, it also signals the start of the Lunar New Year, because it's the beginning of the year of the water tiger in the Chinese horoscope. So two big things are happening at the same time. So it's gonna push you to figure out where your life is headed, right? So now that January came to an end, we've gone through the first month of this year. Now is an opportunity to really think about where our life is headed. What do we want out of life? So even better, it'll actually try to steer things in the direction that you want. So this particular new moon in the sign of Aquarius, it has a semi-serious vibe going on, thanks to a link with the planet Saturn, which represents responsibility, hard work, and determination. So the combination of Aquarius and Saturn is very powerful, because Saturn is, it's about hard work and responsibility and determination. So you'll suddenly feel a little more serious and determined about just about everything in your life. And on the career front, you'll feel less tempted to spend time checking out your Instagram feed between meetings and more focused on getting things done. So you'll breeze through projects with perfectly crafted plans, A, B, and C, wowing clients and your boss in the process. So this new moon in Aquarius, it really has this feeling behind it of, let's get things done, and let's not waste any more time. So you'll also start making plans with your friends to get out more, whether it's scheduling a regular Saturday morning yoga session with your friend or getting a much overdue weekend getaway lockdown. So after months of making and breaking plans, you're ready to just commit to plans already. So this year in general has a very different kind of energy to the past 2 years, and thank goodness for that, right? So on the relationship front, you'll take a solid look at where you're at with your partner and where you want to be. While you can only plan so much when it comes to relationships, because the course of true love never did run smooth, it's definitely worth having a serious talk with your partner. So if you're single, take a moment to think about where you want to be. Are you happy being on your own for now? Or are you ready to meet someone? So work-wise, you'll be more productive than ever, and all of that effort won't go unnoticed by the powers that be. Hey, there could even be a promotion in your future. So making plans to get together with your buddies and actually sticking to them will remind you of just how much you need your friends. The end result, you'll form even closer bonds with the people who love and support you. Aquarius is about friendships as well. So friendships and relationships of all kinds are really highlighted right now. So if Mercury retrograde has been zapping your energy and making it seemingly impossible to get ahead since the 14th of January, you'll be thrilled to learn that February brings a whole new vibe. And you're sure to feel it right off the bat when the first of the month serves up a new moon in fixed air sign Aquarius. Because Aquarius is it's connected to powerful intentions around friendships, relationships, group projects, and humanitarian efforts. And Mercury has been retrograde since the 14th of January, and it's going direct on the 3rd of February. And actually, all planets are gonna be direct on the 3rd of February. So that's a very big day. You can mark it in your calendar that all the planets will be direct on the 3rd of February. So that's gonna have a lot of forward movement to it. And now Venus is direct as well. And Venus and Mercury were retrograde actually at the same time. So Venus just went direct 2 days ago, and Mercury is going direct on the 3rd of February. So that's gonna have a very big impact, moving forward. So fixed air sign Aquarius, symbolized by the water bearer, is ruled by Uranus, which is the planet of revolution and change, and rules the 11th house of networking, groups, and wishes. People with strong Aquarius placements, meaning your big three, the sun, moon, and the rising sign, are generally progressive, future-minded, humanitarian, social, and especially adept at platonic relationships, eccentric, free-spirited, and contrarian. Preferring to march to the beat of their own drum and strike out against convention at every turn, you'll see a typically open-minded water bearer dole out plenty of no's when they get into their signature black and white way of thinking about something. So in general, Aquarius new moons are about collaborating with others, looking down the road at what you want to achieve, and connecting with friends and loved ones. With two retrogrades, the retrogrades that I mentioned of Mercury and Venus, affecting our social and romantic lives recently, this new moon could set the stage for reconnecting with people you haven't seen in a minute or in a while or even 2 years. For the greater purpose of beginning a new chapter with them, or reevaluating how you're showing up in all of your relationships. So in terms of reevaluating relationships, this can be a time when relationships, certain relationships come to an end, and then new ones can form as well. But it can also be a new beginning for an existing relationship as well. So many things can happen around relationships now, and especially because Venus was retrograde, that was a time of evaluating many relationships as well. So restriction loathing Uranus is also a key player during this new moon. Not only does the planet rule the event itself, since it's the ruler of Aquarius, but it will also form a tense, albeit activating square to the new moon. This aspect could stir up nervous, anxious, and also innovation-inspiring energy. You'll want to rebel against the status quo and break free of anything that feels restrictive or conventional. And this kind of energy, this Aquarius Uranus energy, is reflected in the protests that are happening around the world, and for example, these 50,000 Canadian truckers in Canada. That's a reflection of this new moon in Aquarius with Uranus. But speaking of restrictions, the most powerful connection the moon will make is to taskmaster Saturn, the planet of limitations, boundaries, but also commitment and diligence. The Aquarius new moon will sit almost exactly conjunct to Saturn, making this a moment in which you'll be motivated to put your nose to the grindstone and begin ambitious projects. But it could be more about feeling pressured to do so, because whatever you need to get to work on is intertwined with your responsibilities. So Uranus's pull to act independently could add to the struggle as well. With Mercury still retrograde at the time of the new moon and about to turn direct just a couple of days later on Thursday, February the 3rd, it's possible that diving full throttle into an ambitious game plan could be delayed a bit anyway. But with several planets still in industrious Capricorn, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, they're all still in Capricorn. Your drive to get down to whatever business is spotlit now will win out sooner versus later. So whatever projects you put your mind on now, whatever projects you put your energy into right now, especially with Mercury, Mars, and Venus in Capricorn, they can be very successful and they can move forward at a fast pace, especially now that Venus and Mercury are coming out of retrograde. Okay, so that gives you an overview of what this new moon in Aquarius is about, and now I'm gonna talk about the different signs and how this new moon in Aquarius is going to affect the different signs. And this is actually like these predictions for the different signs. This is for the whole month of February. So, and there's a lot of because February is the month of Valentine's Day. These predictions are about relationships and around Valentine's Day. All right, so for Aries. So even when you say you don't care about Valentine's Day, you secretly do. So make sure that your crush or partner knows that. They can't read your mind. Thanks to the help from rational Aquarius and the communication Mercury, that should be no problem though. So yeah, Aries usually doesn't have a hard time, speaking out and saying whatever's on their mind. For Taurus, when February begins, darling Taurus, thanks to big moves from Juno, the asteroid of marriage, you reflect on how much you appreciate stability in your love life. The only problem is that you don't always express your needs to others. However, when a rare cosmic event occurs later in the month in conjunction with the start of emotional Pisces season, you're successfully able to share your feelings. Gemini. Once again, heartbreaker Gemini, the stars are asking you not to lead anyone on this month, especially around Valentine's Day. However, while the first half of the month sees you trying to please friends and lovers, the second half of February gives you a big, warm, cosmic hug and brings welcome intimacy into all of your relationships. Just double down on sleep and self-care if anxiety flares up once sensitive Pisces season begins. Cancer. Cancer, you're full of artistic talents, even if you don't always show them off. So when a bright full moon brings abundance your way mid-month, thanks to your creative efforts, say yes to the check. And as for romance and Valentine's Day, despite what an exceptional caretaker you are, why don't you let someone else do the work this year? Leo. February kicks off with a new moon that asks you to reflect on boundaries, Leo. Are you holding your own and respecting others? At the risk of calling a majestic lion such as yourself out again, February and cosmic events, which occur precisely on Valentine's Day, ask you to put aside short-term pleasure for the sake of a long game. That means putting more emotional effort into your current relationships and spending less time thinking about your ex. Virgo. Don't worry about feeling selfish this month. The stars ask you to be. As the healer of the zodiac, you tend to focus on others, especially when holidays such as Valentine's Day take your attention. But you're also represented by the Hermit card and Tarot. It would help if you stepped into your cave once in a while for your mental health. When Mercury squares a high-tension aspect between the two planets, the eccentric planet Uranus later in the month, you may find yourself feeling anxious. So express your needs to others and sleep in as much as you want. Libra. Great news, Libra. Pleasure is a massive theme for you this month, but regardless of your relationship status, you need to make alone time this month. Of course, as a sign of partnerships and balance, you always want to connect with others. But to do so, Libra, you need to get in touch with your desires. Scorpio. Valentine's Day is a special day for Scorpios because even though it's during Aquarius season, anyone conceived during this time, yes, that includes you, turns out to be a Scorpio. Lean into the rational influence of air sign Aquarius this month, Scorpio, because you tend to get carried away with your emotions. During February, both in love and money, cooler heads prevail. Sagittarius. February asks you to grab your bow and arrow, archer, because you're ready for battle. This could mean ending a dead-end relationship or accepting a proposal in a healthy one. But either way, expect a change or two. Either way, it's for the best because the stars sprinkle your love life with fairy dust just in time for Valentine's Day. However, there is one catch. You can't dominate the conversation, Sag. Instead, February asks you to listen. Capricorn. You usually think with your head more than your heart, Capricorn. But February sees you tapping into your emotional side, and don't worry, it's a good thing. The first half of the month is so buzzy with romance that you may want to catch up on sleep on Valentine's Day. And despite your penchant for science, open your mind to psychic messages and dreams during Pisces season later in the month, as they're coming your way. Aquarius. It's still your season for the first half of the month, Aquarius, including during Valentine's Day. But even if you find the holiday a corny commodification of love, your romantic side comes out thanks to the communication Mercury entering your sign, encouraging you to express your feelings. Plus, whether it's a raise of a proposal, you're in for an abundant surprise mid-month. Pisces. While the early days of February might leave you feeling slightly lonely, your happiness soars mid-month when you reconnect with friends, perhaps over Valentine's Day. So not only does the second half of February bring the start of your season, Pisces, but prosperous news for your career is on the way. All right, thank you. May this new moon in Aquarius propel you forward in life. I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can get in touch with me if you'd like a session at lauracoaching@gmail.com. My website is laurarenenkoski.com, and my Wake Up to Your True Potential YouTube series, the link is there. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I'll stop sharing, and I'll stop the recording.